There you are. I wanted to catch you before you ended your festivities. How you doing, family? This is your boy Gerald. It is Wednesday, Turkey Eve, and I know some of you may have taken the day off. Some of you may have got up bright and early, beat the sun up to work your magic in the kitchen. And where you are in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you, the aroma is made of love. It is nothing but a display of your attributes, down to the spices displayed through the commitment through time. How you doing, family? It's your boy Gerald, and in here having some coffee. Come on now. You know I gotta have my coffee. These next couple days are gonna be very, very blissful for me because, as a lot of people, they use the term of a foodie. And I love to eat. Oh man, I love to eat. I even enjoy eating when I don't have to cook. Love that even more. But you still got to do the dishes. But in all seriousness, family, I wanted to take the time out to share some validation, to share some encouragement, as well as show love. Because I also would be remiss to not acknowledge that holidays sparks nostalgia. The holidays stimulate memory and events. Back down memory lane, we all have memories that we hold dear to, as well as not so good recollections that we are still shackled to because we have yet found the way to find transparency by way of courage of acknowledgement. So that in itself has been placed on my spirit to reach out to you. hmm Now, some of you have been riding with me for a very long time, and I'm going to tell you right now, there is no words that I can fathom to express how humble, but how grateful I am. And I hope that you continue to watch me grow. I do. Each one teach one, right? And, you know, not to be negative, but I would not be right if I could not speak truth. And I understand there is a percentage of people that are dreading this moment right now because it takes you back to a moment of uneasiness. It takes you back to a moment of things yet that were compartmentalized and you used an approach to convince yourself that, oh, if I distract it, I won't have to put the focus, but it's always been there. It's always been there. Why? Because it's you. It is part of your legacy. It is about your truth, yet that has yet to be claimed. Unspoken words. But I'm here to let you know from the bottom of my heart to your ear, no matter what, this big old planet, there's a lot of love in it. But one thing for sure is missing is you. Why you're not at the threshold to receive. And I get it because the one thing about life, it's like the waves. Life, things are positive, things are non climatic, things plateau. But it is those very things that define where you're headed. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look, let me be more, like they say, let me keep it 100. I understand some of y'all may have had a rough go this year. I know. I feel your energy. I know. And you trying to keep it together. You got that one proverbial straw that is woven into what makes your reality, what makes your day go the way it is. And with that being said, I know that some of you, even though you won't admit it, you are counting the days so that you are one step closer to the chapter that will close 2019. Who am I talking to? But let me throw this out there. You know why you are seeing what you're seeing? Because it's all test. And there is something so good, so magnificent, so special that is on the other side of that. Remember, I used to always echo where fear is, the blessings right behind it. I would always say that because I had to go through my metamorphosis. I had to make a declaration to myself that, hey, listen here. You can't understand what love is until you love you. But you can't understand who you are until you find peace within yourself, which means you ain't crazy. You got to be, you got to find comfort in your discomfort. But you can't find comfort in this discomfort until you acknowledge its presence in your life. Why? Because what I'm describing is change. And what is change? Change is growth. And if growth doesn't make you unique, you ain't living. That is one way to put in the pros how special you are. Now, you know, I'm like that cheerleader. I'm always talking about your gifts and talents, but I also understand the frustration of you holding it within yourself. You do understand that nobody is promised tomorrow. Not to sound morbid, it's real. We are physical mortal beings, but we are spiritual beings first. That is why you feel the things that have no tangible placement, like for example, you feel pain. You can't touch pain. You feel it. You are in tune with your emotions. You can't physically touch your emotions, but it has an impact on what you do. So why will you not give yourself credit when you've earned it? Maybe that's the reason why you're not sleeping so well at night. I remember somebody told me a long time ago, when you finally get tired, you realize you've been running. And I'm just going to tell you this because I know some of y'all going to step out there tomorrow and you're going to brave the environment wherever you are, and your patience are going to be tested. Let me tell you something, fam. Whatever you decide to do, just be safe at it. I know a lot of people have gotten more accustomed to letting your fingers do the walking on the keystrokes of your laptop or your cell phone and sidestepping the rigmarole of being out there. But I also know that that is kind of a, a tradition now because people want to be in the mix. People want to commune, and that's okay. You're entitled to make that choice. But let's get back to the meat and potatoes because I don't want to put the cart before the horse because I will put a video out New Year's Eve about 2020. But I will say this, family, your ship is about to come in. But even if your ship does come in, nobody can put you on the dock. Nobody can proverbially have you walk that path if you can't see it. So, with that being said, look at where you are now. I kind of talked about it in the last video about November 11th and compared to where you are November 11th to January 11th. Your Blink Twice family, 2019 will be part of the memories. And really, with your motivation, um, you know, you guys, I think I've shown this before in one of my videos. If you look at my thumbnails of my videos, if you go back uh 15 about 15 videos ago, and I'm outside and I have this plexiglass uh mantra. Actually, it was a saying that President Thomas Jefferson quoted, saying that, in short version, nothing can prevent the man or person from them dreams with a positive attitude. It is when their mind loses focus, their dreams are unattainable. And I thought about that because as long as I've been here, you know, every time I'm out in the yard, because you guys know I got a green thumb, and one of the joys of my life is getting my hands dirty, getting out there, and yeah, I'm that guy that has a nice yard and is very diligent about curb appeal. I just love doing. I was raised to appreciate your environment. I thank my parents for that. And but for a long time, as long as that mantra was sitting on my deck, I would see it every day because I had to let the dogs out, let them do their thing. And I've noticed in the last 6 months how powerful those words have an effect still to this day and will transcend time. Because even though he penned that quote well over a century and a half ago, you can peel back the onion of that statement and see how relevant it has its impact today as well as the years and centuries to come. That is the proverbial line of what separates you from your dreams as well as what keeps you planted into your reality. So you got to make a decision, family. How committed are you to your direction? How devoted are you to your happiness? How bad you want to be happy? Because when you are happy, you are free. Haven't you noticed that? There is nothing that you cannot champion. But until you are able to look at the person in the mirror, can you see what a champion is? Who am I talking to? Now, we've had in 2019 many examples of choices made and repercussions of choices. Some people think that's just what it is. And there are some that think that their reality is there forever. And I'm here to tell you, family, the one thing I can say for 2019 for me indirectly is I've seen a lot of death around my environment indirectly. And I know somebody's saying, well, Gerald, people pass away here all the time. And I got that because no man, no person knoweth the time or moment that they'll be called. No one. So, with that being said, one of my favorite artists amongst many is Sade. I've always been a dear, I've been a fan of her work. And granted, there have been countless people that have been inspired by her creativity. My uh my male artist that I've always gravitated was Prince. Now, granted, I love Michael Jackson, I do, but I'm a music lover. So there's no more beautiful thing to witness as a person's creativity because that is when you're able to witness someone being alive. They're at their apex of their existence. And it's the most priceless thing to bear witness to if you're afforded the opportunity to be present at that moment. But let's switch that to our day to day. Now, there are many things that I am thankful for. Number one, I'm alive. Number two, the words that come from my heart that fall from my lips will live forever because it will find the intended heart, intended mind, and the intended place. So, at a minimum, I know that the people that I am connected to by lineage that I may never ever meet, they have a resource that they can see. So, it's kind of like speaking into the future because I know it's blessed. Now, with that being said, I also understand that, you know, from a spiritual standpoint, yes, we are what we're considered last days because there's been evidence of a lot of wrong. being being condoned, and a lot of what should be treasured is being ridiculed. And I got that because that's as it was scribed in Revelation, the believer will be chastised, just like removing the corn from its sheaf. It will be tested. But that's what separates you from the pack. See, I'm going to speak this affirmation over your life because I live it and I believe it. And I believe that 2020 is going to be your breakout year. You are going to come into phenomenal health, your finances, you will champion. And by that commitment to you, your extensions of you shall be blessed and doors will be made open. Now, with that being said, for one door to be open, another door must be closed. And I've come to realize, family, that the more transparent you are, the less fear that you have to deal with. Doesn't mean that you come into a place of acceptance, but it does mean acknowledgement. And yes, you might have something that has been like a mountain that impedes your forethought, but maybe that same mountain, as you think inside you, is really your answer and your protection. Who am I talking to? Because I know that the biggest thing that most people don't like speaking about is when it comes to those heartstrings. And I do understand that there are going to be some people that realize they're going to be by themselves, or they may be estranged from their circle, so to speak. Let me tell you something. The people that love you, the people that have your best interest, the people that want the best for your life, they're praying for you. And they've already come to terms that they may never hear you breathe again. But guess what? They want you to be all right. They want you to be all right. Now, the requirement for that to come to pass is commitment to self. So, as I used to echo through this YouTube channel, do you know who you are? Because the moment that you get to know who you are, you'll also be introduced to what you need. You will start to empower yourself because you will finally understand what love is. Nobody can love you to love you. They are nothing but a living manifestation of your spirit. That's why you hear in the movies, you see in media, the two spirits shall become one. But you was already made whole to begin with. And you know, I say this with love, family, especially my queens. Haven't you noticed these last 5 to 7 years, there has been a blatant attack on your security, convincing you that no, I need to validate myself at all costs, even if it means it costs me. Who told you that? And why is it those same actions and affirmations that are being spoken through the media, through propaganda? 85% of it is an illusion to keep you distracted from yourself. But I will tell you this. Well, hold that thought for a second. Give me about, it is 4:42 in the afternoon here in Virginia Beach. Gotta use the restroom real quick. I do. I'll be right back, okay? Hold on. All right, I'm here. Okay. And yeah, I got the chat going too. So if you had any questions, so I'll put that right there right now, just to let you know it's live. See, it's live. Now, I'm gonna dig a little deeper now. Okay? I'm gonna speak to you in the perspective of your future self. Especially millennials, please hear this. And if you're not, but your future self is depending on you to do the legwork. Whatever you may have been insecure about, whatever that you were frightened about, you need to look at it. Think of it like a wound, a proverbial wound. That wound cannot heal properly unless you give it time, you give it nurturement, and you allow nature to heal itself. Because you know the body is the most magnificent creation that the Most High has ever created. You have the ability to heal yourself. You do know that, right? But before that to come to pass, you've got to commit to it. For example, how many of y'all remember 5 years ago, I had dreads, cut them off, went back to my fades, and then one day I said, you know what? I feel more like myself by allowing myself to be. And I fought with that for a long time because it wasn't about conforming, it was really about being. And I allowed my life to progress. So this goes back to your future self. See, you might not realize this right now, but you're going to come to a point where I don't want to make light of it, but your justifications won't add up. They won't. And you won't have that proverbial out to go to because it won't fit. It's kind of like putting on a shirt that is you've outgrown, you know, or like your fingernails. If you don't cut them, they're going to grow and become infected. That's the same mentality that you got to have for your life. Now, I know that let's keep it real. Some of y'all have a game plan how y'all gonna tackle the holidays because you know with the holidays is celebration, and with celebration becomes debt. And unfortunately, some of y'all are gonna get your feelings hurt because you're gonna go and invest your time and you're gonna brave the environment only to get the reaction that you don't want, and it's gonna hurt you because it comes from a pure place. Now, I'm not saying sidestep that, but I will say that the people that genuinely love you, you ain't got to get them nothing. You've already, because you are the gift. The fact that they're able to know your name, to be able to witness your growth, because you guys are vibing. Peace. Peace. How you doing, Swaggy D? Happy Thanksgiving. And they just want you to be the person that their heart feels. That's all they want. Because you'll come to understand that we attract like minded people. Now, I know the general consensus is opposites attract. But guess what? The things that we attract are the things that we need because we buffer or we see things in other people. It is the same synergy when you're able to see someone's gifts and talents that you don't have in yourself or aspects about them that may inspire you or the opposite may repulse you because you're learning and that person has been afforded access to your life. The question, my mouth is not working, is why are they there? Are they helping you build, or are they blocking you from the process? I really believe 2020 is going to be your get it year. And I will say to those people that this applies to, don't compromise your respect and integrity in who you are, because that is organically found within, and you don't have to pay by time, by monetary means, just for someone to be around. Don't do that. I've had many examples this year. I've been very blessed to lend an ear, a helping hand, and I really think that's something that God has put in my on my life. That okay, you know what? I'm gonna put you in people's lives to receive as well as to convey. You're gonna be the puzzle piece that gives clarity for the intended person, because not everything that I convey are you going to be able to relate to. However, there will always be opportunity to learn. And hopefully, wisdom comes from that. And if wisdom comes from that, guess what? You can sidestep. You can, it's like school. You get promoted, you get skipped to the next grade because you've learned a life lesson that you don't have to go through. But unfortunately, that thing called fear, fear, finally everything's a reality, which is hanging out with this thing called pride. There's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself, but pride will always set you back, because pride will cloud humility. And if pride blocks humility, you cannot and you will never understand what grace means. That is why some people will tell you, you know what, all I want is peace and quiet. You hear your parents tell you that. You're like, well, it's boring. But sometimes the greatest gift you could ever bestow a person is time, especially if they're going through something. Because if they're going through something, they're trying to afford themselves opportunity to embrace the process of critical thinking. And you're worth it. If I was to tell you, if I had the ability to show you a picture of who you are, where you're headed, or point you to a door, if you open that door, your life is on the other side. Most people would run to that door without pondering what's on the other side. So, with that being said, it makes me go back to Sade. And I've got all her catalog, I do. But one of my most favorite songs she did was off the Love Deluxe album, and it was called Cherish the Day. If you've never heard that song, go up here, put Cherish the Day by Sade, and she's got the album version and she's got the live version. I was blessed that when I was in during my service days, while I was stationed in Germany, I had an opportunity to catch her performance when that album had just dropped. And I was blown away. Not only how talented her band is, which is uh it's called the band's called Sweetback. But a lot of people just think Sade, thinking her, but the band is called Sweetback. But you know, you can't put a price on a person's ingenuity and creativity, because at a minimum, they're trying. They're not allowing themselves to become stagnant. And isn't that what life is all about? Growth. But I don't want to beat the gong too long. I just want to let you know, no matter what you're going through, no matter what may be demonstrated, I'm going to tell you something. Keep pushing. On the other side of that is wisdom, opportunity, and definition of self. And I'm going to tell you something. Unfortunately, on this planet we call Earth, 50% of the people will never see that. 50% have chosen that their reality will be their legacy. And I'm here to tell you, it ain't got to be that way. So if you want change, be transparent. And the more transparent you are, the more stronger you become. And the hardest thing that you will have to come to deal with is finding comfort in your own voice. That's why, they always say the devil's work is never done because society believes that if I turn the octave up in my voice and project it, I command the environment, when in actuality, the opposite is the master. Silence dictates everything because you don't know what that person's thinking. You don't know what their intent is. But I look forward to these next couple of days because I'm gonna have the itis. Oh, I'm gonna be out. I have the pleasure of spending time with my family, and I look forward to those moments shared. Now, on the flip side, if you are not with your family or you don't have access to your family physically, pick that phone up, call them, just tell them hello, let them know you love them because that's what cherishing the day is about. And how many examples have we seen people that have everything under the sun, but they're miserable because you can't buy that. But I'm going to always be optimistic for you. I believe when you decide to say enough is enough, I'm going to invest in me. I didn't say do me, I said invest in me. Everything that proverbially you didn't have access to, it shall be given. For those theologians out there, they know what I'm saying because what is the scripture? What the scripture says? God said to man, you do not have because you have yet to ask. How can you ask if you don't know you? And if you don't know you, how will you understand where you're going? But yet, what you standing on, what you stand for. Because listen, fam, even though we ignore it, everything is recorded. Even the things you don't think people are. That's why it's a great omnipotent. But from me to you, I would love to hear from you. Thumbs up if you're feeling me. If you know somebody that may not be in the greater spirits, by all means, with all my videos, send it to them. I would love to talk to them. Got questions and concerns. But nonetheless, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Take a second to reflect. I don't care if you going to a fast food joint, going through the drive-through, and that is your celebration. That's okay. Because the gift is the moment. You're present, but it matters not until you claim you. So please be safe if you're going to be on the highways and byways. If you guys are going to go do the Black Friday thing, uh, don't forget Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Hello. But nonetheless, be the best you because nobody else can do it better than you. And you're worth it because you're blessed. Bye.